Hi, welcome Tactical Black Family. You got Jay, Josh, Tony's wife Erica here today. And our specific discussion today is we're talking about what used to be called our 90-day challenge. And really it's grown, it's expanded, it's so much different than what it was if you've done it 4 or 5 years ago. It's our lifestyle change program. And we've had so many people asking about what it is and so many people doing it. In fact, we've had to take the next group into January because we were sold out of the first go around with it, and we want to have a discussion today and give as much information we can about it and how it's working and what to get involved with, and that's why we're here.
Yep.
So Tony, you got it going on in Glendale. We've got
we do,
lots of people involved with it, already doing really well,
including ourselves.
We're always a project ourselves. I think first of all, the main thing is to discuss the difference between a diet and what we're trying to do.
Sure.
And like everything we do, it's hard work. It's up to you. So the first thing we're saying to everybody who's interested in this, are you ready to make a lifestyle change? Because I think intellectually everybody understands and knows that diets don't work. Or I should say diets do work if you're looking for short-term change for a specific reason, whether it's just to lose weight for a wedding, an event, or something like that. Almost every diet on the market today, and we've studied them all, has one thing in common. It's to basically starve you and to give you some kind of magic pill that suppresses appetite. And it works, but it also creates the yo-yo. And I know everybody right now is going, yeah, I know the yo-yo. So our point is, to be healthy, you have to have lifestyle change. You have to make sure that you understand that it's about exercise, it's about eating consistently, it's about eating the right foods, and it's not doing the yo-yo, and it's not starving yourself. The last thing we're doing when we're talking to people about how to approach this is to not starve. In fact, we have people eating 6 meals a day. I have a lot of experience training professional athletes, first responders, people who need to be in shape for specific reasons, but it all comes down to the same thing: not starving yourself and learning how to eat right and adopting a lifestyle change. So, what do you guys think?
Yeah, it's structure and the framework that both of us got on the same page. And I know I've ran through it before in the past, but really
lots of things have changed over the years. They're evolved, as we should say, and we're right there with them. I've been doing this a long time, but it all has the same thing in common. The idea that you're going to starve yourself, which starving yourself really is eating under 1,200, 1,500 calories a day, and then trying to take a pill that will suppress from eating further on. We have to get people to want to adopt a lifestyle change. Erica, I couldn't be more proud of you. I know that you've gone through it, and I know not even going through it, you haven't yo-yoed, and I think that's the biggest thing, besides being his partner in life and in business, which is really important for him. You've also made that decision to change your life.
A huge lifestyle change. I feel so much better, just mentally, physically, all around, and it's having that good discipline to want to stay there and to want to go through it. Because again, like you guys always say, it's a lifestyle change. It's not one of those fad diets.
Yeah.
And so that makes a big difference.
Do you want to say how much weight you've lost or less?
I started at 198-ish, I think, around that area, and I'm down to 139. So a really big difference.
I can hear all the
Yeah.
And it's not just applause because you did it. Because like I said, everybody out there, because everybody that comes in and talks to us says the same thing. Been there, done that, yo-yoed back, and here's the problem: it gets so much harder as you get older. As women go into menopause, as guys get older, it just gets harder, especially the visceral fat that goes around the stomach, which is the worst type of fat to have. And we have to be willing to make all the sacrifice to do it. And it's not that big a deal. It's just getting coaching and getting the guidance to do it, which is, that's the difference in this program. What we're doing is we're staying with these people for the time that we're doing it. We're doing private lessons with them. We're keeping in contact with them. They have our
Yeah.
emails to answer all the questions. So it's
Yeah, and they're
really
excited about
it's
doing it
hands-on.
too, Jay.
Yeah.
And we know we've been doing this
Great
now, this
group.
new group for like maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and it's amazing. But the test of the of the tail of this is, will they adapt the lifestyle change? Because none of it works without the lifestyle
No.
change. And it's great, and I know it's been years now for you.
And having his guidance and yours and everybody's too has been very helpful.
Yeah,
That's been
but it really comes down to you. The person who
Yeah.
has to take the
Oh,
credit
she's doing it.
has to be
Yeah,
you,
she's going
because
after it.
you've got. And not only that, I mean, I see when you have your snacks all measured out. Everything, but that's what you have to do. And plus the exercise, and plus the all the things that we're going to discuss that goes with it. What do you think was the hardest thing?
I would say for me personally, it was the food. The food was really hard.
Food as in choices,
And
or is it
not
finding
so
the
much
food?
choices about eating, because I was that person that would forget to eat, wouldn't eat until like the end of the day, and it was that huge giant meal that
Right.
I just so it was finding that time when he told me I had to eat 6 times a day. I was like, that's a lot. And he's just like, it's not.
And those of you who are watching this and are involved with this, it's funny because I think we've got maybe 20, 25 people involved right now that we're rolling with this. Almost everyone, when I say, okay, you realize that if you go 8 hours, 10 hours without eating, like if you're a good sleeper, which I have nothing to do with that, but for the rest of you, if you're sleeping the right amount of hours a night, your body's in starvation mode when you wake up. That thing called break fast. And I can't tell. I don't know if you guys, because we haven't really had this discussion, but I found almost every one of the people that we're talking to don't eat breakfast.
Yeah, us
Yeah.
as well. That's
Yeah.
one of the
They
first
come in and
questions we
train.
ask.
So if you're those people and you're coming in and training, let me give you a little bit of insight. You're burning muscle instead of fat and the calories that you want to burn when you're training. So you're doing what you don't want to do. You have to have food, especially proteins and good foods in you, before you come to train, after you train, during the day. We know a lot more now than we did even 5 or 6 years ago. We know a lot more about strength training versus aerobic training. And we don't want to make this video so long that you don't watch the whole thing. So we're going to keep it at that. But I know that there's so many questions, and we're here to answer those questions, and we're here to help. But it really comes down to you. You've got to know that you've done it all. You understand that diets don't work, because they don't. You can't stay on diets the rest of your life because they forbid you to eat certain things, and they have you doing things, and more importantly, they don't have the right calorie count that you need, especially when we know in our training and especially the level of training that we do, you have to provide the right nutrition and the right guidance to get it all right, and that's what we're here to do. So what was the easiest thing then?
The training. I loved coming in, and it was everything. The fact that it's all instructor led. I don't have to think about what I need to do or how to do it. So it's just being able to follow the instructions and the.
and one of the main things I'm sure you're telling everybody too is there's a big difference in the hunger that you feel. I think that's what we're trying to say when you said you weren't eating. That is the main thing that I find, which is just insane to me, is that you have people who just don't eat. Or they're closet eater. I don't know where they're getting the calories from or when they're getting the calories from, because you just like you don't get there. You don't gain the kind of weight you gain unless you're doing something to gain it. So, but it just is amazing to me. Just some of the things the habits and things that people have, and just the incorrect knowledge that they have about the subject. But the workout, we're gonna get you there, and that when the hunger that you have, I know you guys are gonna shake your head.
Yep, I experienced
After you've
that.
done the kind of strength training session that we want to do, the hunger you have after a good workout, especially a hard strength training workout, you have to eat. Your body is telling you you've now just done what you've done. You've done the micro tears in the muscles, and you better feed me. And that's the difference. And when you get there, you get there because you're not patient with waiting at restaurants or waiting for you're all shaking your head. You got to eat now, and that's when you know you're there. So that is one of the big differences, and it only happens when you come and do this.
Yep.
Tony, you're the other example for those of you out there who are watching. You fought, and it's funny because we talk every day, lots, sometimes 2-3 times a day, besides you being here training all the time. But we had a conversation one evening, and you were like, I'm stuck at this 150 pounds, and I'm somebody who eats and eats and eats, and I can't gain the weight. I can't, and everybody's out there going, oh,
Yeah, shake your head.
boo,
Poor
boo,
sandwich.
yeah, poor, boo, effing you, Tony. You can't gain weight, poor you. But the people out there who are like that, who have not been able. So here's the thing. Look at this guy. So this guy went through his workout, and I said, oh, Tony, without getting into all these details, there's lots of things you're doing here that there's a reason why you're not gaining the weight, and you're not keeping it on, I guess is the point.
Yeah.
And so we made some really fine adjustments to things.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot, like night and day adjustments to some things. And now about 8 weeks later, what weight are you?
Yeah, in no time. Getting closer to 170, maybe 168.
So we'll give you the benefit. We'll say you
take
put
it.
on
Yeah,
20
that
pounds.
was my goal.
Putting on
was
20 pounds
170.
of muscle, or 15 pounds of muscle, is not easy, and you did it.
Yeah.
And
Thanks, Jay.
and I mean, it's the biggest I've
Appreciate
ever
it.
seen you in 15 years.
Simple suggestions that really, put me on track. And like I said, I was gonna, put forth an effort, obviously, too, at the strength training. I love to strength train and to train. I was, I think, putting in a little bit more cardio than the strength training. There was things in your strength training routine that For
absolutely
sure.
had to be changed. And
Yeah.
we're not going to get into all the fine
For
details
sure.
here.
But, man,
But the
what a
results,
difference
that's the
in-
point. The
yeah,
results,
in a
and it didn't
short
take
time.
long. Yeah.
No,
And
not at
the
all.
thing again, like keeping it off, you've kept it
To
on.
be able to maintain.
And I've known you a
Yeah.
long time,
Yeah.
and you've not been able to keep this kind of muscle weight on, which is
My whole life. Yeah.
It's great.
So appreciate
you look,
that,
look
Jay.
completely
Thank you very
different,
much.
and you hit a lot effing harder. So.
Thank you.
What about you? What do you got to say?
So I think part of the reason why people stick with this so much too is just the training in itself and the workouts that we do for people. We're not the typical gym that people just come and run on the treadmill or just lift weights on a machine. You're always having instructors in the class that are helping everybody out, making sure they have the right forms of stuff. The classes are fresh and rotating through, so it keeps things entertaining for people. The self-defense classes obviously as well. I mean, if we're talking more on the fitness and the strength training side of things of this specific part of the program, everyone is just very happy coming in, going, hey, what are we going to do today? They're excited about it and going, okay, it's Tuesday. I know we're going to do this specific exercise at this time and this and this. And like I said, I think that all of that with the program, with the proper eating, helps keep people involved with this a lot longer.
Bottom line, if you're ready, not us, because we've been here for 25 years, if you're ready, you want to make that change.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't say it enough times, if you're, past that 35, 40 years old, it just gets harder.
Yep.
And so don't put it off. And there's so many advantages. I mean, the first thing that everybody has said when we start talking about proper foods and this and that is like, well, I can't eat that, I can't eat this. Well, it's about substitutions. Yes, you can. You've just been put in this, you put your mind in this, or your mind's put you in this decision making that you can't do things. And again, can't is the worst four-letter word,
Yeah.
apostrophe, whatever, in the dictionary. There's no such thing. So we run through it, every little detail about what your lifestyle is, and it's making changes, and it's making substitutions, and it's doing things. But there's no can't. And everybody has come in. Everybody's come in saying, "Oh my God, I feel so great," and that egg white that you keep talking about, or this that you keep talking about that I couldn't eat. Of course, I can eat it now because I can do things with it, and it's the perfect food, as we know, with different things. So without getting into all the details of stuff, but that's the feedback that we're getting back, and we've also hooked up with a company that has prepared foods with us that's done a great job with it, and all the feedback that's come back with that has been really, really good. So the program is solid. It's really solid, and if you're ready, we're there to keep you motivated, which is the most important part of stuff. and we'll get you through it. But it's really important to make these decisions no matter how old you are. And like I can tell you, the older you get, the much more difficult it is to make these changes, and just lots of different things, reasons to be to have this healthier lifestyle. We'll make another video talking about different things, and because we have a lot of people in their 70s and 80s in here training, and they're in here because they've been doing it their whole life. And it's never too late, but it really is a prevention for a lot of different things, especially when we talk about dementia and Alzheimer's and all kinds of different things. And we'll talk about that subject another time. But that's our discussion today. And hopefully you come see all of us. We're always available to talk about it. And hopefully you get involved right after the new year. We'll take the new group on and put you through it.
Yep, 3 Valley locations, Phoenix, Glendale, Chandler. Visit us as well at reactdefense.com.